Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial we are going to learn about classes, objects and fields in C#. So let's begin. We will begin with the class. It's like a blueprint of a car, a design that defines what it should look like, but it's not a real object yet. Now from this blueprint we can create real cars. Here we have three of them. Each one is an object, something that actually exists. So this is a very simple example of classes and objects, and we will write the code for them as well. And talking about the class members, there are two types of the class members, fields and methods. We will learn the basics of the fields in this tutorial for the class, and fields can be color, weight, brand, etc. And now let's move into the coding part. So first I'm going to make a class. So I'm writing here class car. So this is our class, and we have learned that we have fields in the class as well. So let's create some fields of the class. So I'm writing here a comment fields, and the fields can be color, speed, weight, etc. So I'm defining it as string color is equal to red. So red is going to be the default value for the color, and similarly we can have default value for the brand as well. We can also define it as default, and we can define it later just like I have done. So this is the basic of the fields, and now let's talk about the objects. So in our main program we are going to define our objects. So for this class we have these three different objects. So let's create these objects. And to create an object, first we need to write the name of the class, which is car, and then we are going to write the name of the object, which is car1, then equals new name of the class again, and parenthesis and a semicolon. So this is how we create a simple object for a class, which is car1. We will create more objects later. So let's access and print the value of the fields for the objects. So let's see how we can do that. And we know that in C# to print anything we write console.writeLine. In the parentheses I'm writing the color of the car1, and car1 is our object. So I'm writing car1 dot color. So car1 is our object and color is the field which we have defined in our class car. So car1 dot object, it will print us the value of the color. And here we have error because this value is not public. In order to access the field in some other class, we have to make the field as public. Now let's run this program, and as you can see it is printed that color of the car1 is red. So we have defined the default value for the color as red. And now let's print the value for the brand, and we know that we have not defined the value of the brand. So I'm changing here car1 dot brand, and when I run this program for the brand it prints nothing because we have to define the value for the brand. So we can define it in the car class, and also we can define it in the main program as well. So I'm defining the value of the brand in the main program, and now let's run this program. And as you can see it is printed the brand of the car1 is Honda. And now let's create another object which is going to be car2. In a very similar way I'm going to create another object, and now let's print the value for that as well. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste this here. I will change car1 to car2 because car2 is our second object, and also I'm going to define the brand of the car2 is Toyota. So I'm going to change the values, and now let's run this program, and as you can see it is exactly the same. The color of the car1 and car2 both are red because we have defined the value for the color as red as default. So these are red because they have the default value, but the brand are different because we have defined the brand value as different. So this is the basics of the classes and objects and how we work with the fields, and we will learn more about the object oriented programming in our next tutorial. Thanks for watching.